Yeah, I would love to see that. I'd also love to see a buff to my curse staff. You know, I love curse. So,
Oh yeah, I love bringing out the curse.
but
I've
our
really
game is
been
actually
enjoying it,
starting.
the Shadow
So
Caller right now. So
I'm on Champion of
champion of
Brazil. Shaky
Brazil.
Feats versus Washed Up is starting right now. I don't know if Lupac is here, ready to cast the heavens for this match, but we're going in right
Yeah, we're
now,
going
and
into
there's
our
no way.
third round of
There's
action
no
and
way.
fighting for their tournament life. Both of these teams.
My man Geminex is using a Daybreaker right now.
1-2.
So he did swap off the Pike, but to a Daybreaker. I'm not sure if that's the one. I think it'll actually be really good though. He's running Daybreaker with the Bear Paw Infernal Staff. That
Are we
might be a
good?
really good combo.
4-1 split from both teams here. Both teams fighting for their tournament life as well. And obviously, because they've come through the lower bracket, Ask Your Father are clawing their way towards a place in tomorrow's tournament. But they're going to have a lot to contend with. Ravidex getting hard dove. Down goes the shield. Ravidex and Chicken, though, we saw from the last match, they're very, very good at fighting against this dive. Geminex switched to the Daybreaker, as you said there, Tazik. Judy going down in these opening exchanges. Both teams just getting a feel for things, and no one committing too heavily. In goes the Razor Cut, but Champ taking a beating, is playing the Greed build. Defensive's not looking great. Ravidex has a shield. 4 seconds of survival for him. Should be okay. Look at Chicken, though. Chicken just finding that space. He's in the enemy backline where he can safely throw heals because they've just got tunnel vision. And that was brilliant from Chicken there. Did you like that? Was
Chicken is real. I don't know if you noticed earlier. Chicken actually Robo Purity stopped 2 Bear Paws from Bodevale in that match, in their match against Carrier's team, Woof Woof. That almost turned the tide of those 2 fights, right? Like Chicken has been doing really well.
Chicken's one of my favorite healers, honestly. For the holy meta for sure. I mean, again, it is a shame, as you guys just briefly touched on there, that we don't have a more diverse healing meta. But generally, the only time we see 2 healing weapons from each, like from both classes, is during a transition period. Like we see it for a little while, and then one overtakes the other and becomes the meta. So it's usually just the switch over. Ravidex, he's getting drilled this time. Chicken looking to run the intercept. Shields go down as Champ with those mystic rocks. He's on Raw Bit. He's on Aram. Aram finding a lot of space here. Explosive bolts. Aliv's more agony. He's flicked out of position, impaled. They do get the trade onto Ravid, but it's balls to the wall now. Who's gonna stick it out? Bunny team does look like he's gonna go down. Oh, Rebane, another beautiful save, but Noob Slayer with the pole hammer. I love it. I honestly think the pole hammer plays right now, in my opinion.
Yeah, I really like the inertia ring as well. He's running inertia ring on it, right? And it's so good with the fling, right?
It's
super
so
well.
It's super annoying for Spears to play against as well.
Because and imagine a Daybreak charge right through here, right?
Yeah, well, because when they're playing lunge, right, they can't guarantee stacks. If they get stuck in an inertia ring, they can lose stacks if everybody's away from them. And then to start again. And look at this. Both the front line just caught in it. It's really good. Ravidex back in the fight. The 1-for-1 trade. And actually, Ravid snuck southwest and grabbed the cap.
Yeah, he did go down there to get the cap.
If Aram dies, it'll be for nothing. So they're gonna need to weather this store right now. Aramis is gonna survive. Aliv's doing his best to get the stacks out. Bunny nearly dies. They've got him pinned in the corner. Deadly shot. Oh, they get Aram. Aramis dies instead. Bunny team. He hunkered down. He held his nerve. Oh, that's a huge stun, though.
Rebane.
Oh, my goodness. They were all stacked on top of each other. Bunny's going to die as well. They know they've got a hard dive Chicken. Here it comes. Ooga Booga, caveman style. Get the healer, but it's a 3-man stun. Iron Breaker. Surely they have to pull out now. Surely they're not going to stick this one.
They did get the impale. Keep going. Yep. Mortal Agony does it. I think Geminex has charge as well, but Aliv's
here as well.
Aliv's
is here as well. Madmen, absolute madmen. They still might get Chicken. Oh, the flick. Geminex is going to pay for that one with his life. Champ will get healed just in time. But the problem is they've just put themselves on the back foot, and Rebane might just get dove here. Like I would just take Rebane here. I'd wait for that leap, and then I would flick him. But
that was really weirdly played by this team.
Yeah, they did. The flick onto Rebane. Rebane puts up the shield, the bomb. They know that he's going to blink. They've bopped him again. They've caught Rebane, and that is an absolute nightmare for Shaky Feet. They absolutely potatoed that entire sequence of events. They committed too long for Chicken, and Chicken played them like fools. Like he drugged them as far as he could before. He had his E that whole time.
Champ is dead. Oh, he left with 7 HP going into that tent right there. Oh man, dude. I don't know if you saw, Chicken actually like secured that kill. Like
Yeah.
the guy was gonna live.
He jumped
Okay,
in and
Raban
bopped
was
him.
going to live,
No,
and then Chicken blinked forward with Robo Purity and YOLO knocked my man
No,
back.
they knew what they were doing though, right? They waited for his E, then they flicked him. They knew he would blink. Chicken read that, and when they pushed for that kill, when they tried to get that healer trade, Chicken kited with his E available the whole time. He made them overcommit and then E'd across them back to his team, and then suddenly he stood with his team between the healer, between the tank and the front line. Like, he just absolutely played them like fools. And we're back into the exchange here. Bomb goes off on Rebane. Bunny team, good hunker down with this wall though, pumping into Rawbit. Rawbit, there goes, oh, nice use of that inertia ring. 3 of them caught on that ring as well. This, you said this inertia ring, Tazik, and it's causing them so much problems. Like, they're just not able to get where they need to be. Good purge from Geminex, but he's going to have to pop the resist on the way out, and the way out is the way back in, if that glaive has anything to do. He's just stuck in the ring again. This ring, he just can't get where he wants to be. And Rawbit juking with the tenacity. This flick, Rebane, he's out of position. He needs to get out. They knock him up.
Dead. Yep.
They knock him up again. Oh, my goodness. This is disgusting. And they get the
trade
trade.
Orbit.
They do, but they need Chicken. They need to kill Chicken, and they might get him
He's
this
in the
time.
hood of tenacity.
He doesn't have what he needs this time. He jumps. They get Bunny. Chicken will go, but now it's a brawl. And Ravinex on the bow. Ravinex on the bow, and the bow and the crossbow are just gonna win this. I think
the bow goes
Rabbit's
down
gonna
immediately.
go
They're gonna
down.
trade ARAM too. If Geminex is gonna steer
misses.
after them. Yeah,
Geminex
he
misses
missed
in the
into
Daybreaker.
wall.
And he's dead.
And he goes down for it. Yeah.
Rebane's back though, but this whole thing was a 3 cap.
The whole time they're losing the 3 cap.
this
Champion of
whole
Brazil's
time-
team is lost.
This
These guys
whole
don't know what
time
they're
they were
doing.
3 capped. Like,
Their macro is so bad. What are they doing? Dude?
no, this
I
glaive,
think
this
I think the
glaive is
problem is,
outplaying
like,
Rebane.
Champion of Brazil doesn't have a mic, right? And the rest of this
Yeah.
team, none of these guys are like the leaders who are calling macro kind of stuff. And so they're just losing rotation after rotation. They've lost like 40 points where they should have had something back and just got nothing for it.
Like, okay, so it's fine. The 5v5s, the regular fights, it's fine. They know how to play. They know the basics. They know what Champ's going to do. As soon as it becomes messy, as soon as it becomes chaotic, the tank not having a microphone becomes an issue.
And you saw that earlier.
Oh my goodness, that dive on the bunny team. He rolled too early and the bomb went off. He didn't roll the bomb, and they've got Bunny.
This is not going well.
They've got Bunny back on his bow. They're 3 capped again. There's a dive onto Ravid. The shields are up. Geminex is pierced though. He's double pierced. Chicken even leaps in to finish him. And Shaky Feet are getting schooled right now by Ask Your Father, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, you saw it on that, like, what is it? The Northeast Cat choke, right? So they were fighting there. They're fighting there. It's Aliv's champion of Brazil, Geminex, in like a 3v3 diving chicken. All of a sudden, Aliv's leaves at full HP while Geminex and champion stay at half. What was that? Where was the communication? What are they doing, man?
Yeah, washed up, just got it under control. Like, what can they do? They're gonna sit there. They're gonna sit and they're gonna talk. And they're going to think about what happened. Well, Eric's not going to talk. Eric's going to type.
Yeah, Eric will type to the lads in party chat. We will have Step Bro I'm Stuck versus Ask Your Father in 7 minutes. This was a pretty good round 1, but I don't really have a lot of confidence in the round 2 for this one.
Right,
with the way they played right there, right? Like, these guys know how to play. They know how to combo and stuff.
I like the Daybreaker from Geminex.
So bad. Yeah, it was a good play, but he kind of whiffed it like 3 times.
Yeah, well, I mean, when they were pushing for the trade, Aramis knew it was coming. You know, that just came down to a 1v1 situation, and the crossbow should win that every time if he reads the abilities correctly. But like the key moment for me was when they stayed too long looking for that healer trade. Like,
I'm so confused on that, right?
They stayed too long in that healer trade, and then Rebane came back into the fight as Geminex died. Which just meant they just ran down Rebane again. And you said it yourself, like Chicken, like they blinked here, they made the big play with the flick onto Rebane, then he blinks, Chicken goes in front of him, Purity's in back, they get the kill, and that whole thing just kept resetting the timer and scoring more rotations.
This other team to their tent, but it's only one cap to one cap, so the fighting doesn't matter as long as no one dies, right?
If you don't die and
points.
Yeah, and in front of the tent is dangerous with these Purities. They're against the glaive as well. They have to respect that. And the second Bunny's going to go off and try and cap mid, but they're just going to get jumped. Geminex only just popped food, and he's getting chipped away by this explosive. Bomb goes out onto Champ. Oh, Sunder got interrupted though. That big juicy opener. Okay, looks like Bunny team isn't going for the cap now.
Yeah, he got interrupted by Noob Slayer running at him with the arcane tank.
Champ taking a bit of a beating. Down goes the Judy. Geminex, though, good discipline. Holds inside that Judy, maximizing that healing for Rebane.
Bunny team misplaying the role. Very bad for him. Just getting purged. All of his bow damage is gone now.
It's good to see him on bow, but he needs to make sure he's rolling those purges every time. In the meantime, the purge comes through. The breakthrough doesn't connect with Geminex. Geminex with those tenacity boots. A quick impale. Oh, he gets flicked into the tent. It happened. He got flicked into the tent.
3 ticks of that.
It's not gonna result in the kill, but it results in a big swing in damage output, and 3 of them need to reset. Rebane waiting on the orb. He's probably gonna have to E this as well, just for safety. Geminex has got the bomb. Oh, Mortal Agony. Champ got Mortal Agonied. Champ got Mortal Agonied, and Geminex ran the bomb into him as the Mortal Agony pierced him. And what you see on screen now is the result of that interaction. A dead Champ, and the first engage that they really did not want to lose.
Yeah, man, I am loving this team's glaive, dude. I said it every time they're on screen so far, right? I really enjoy the repositioning that the glaive gives, because no team has repositioning right now, except for that Ironclad team from Pollinator that we just saw, right? So it's so difficult to play against when, like you said earlier, you haven't played against it in 2 metas, right? You don't really know how to go against it.
And glaive really hasn't changed apart from getting Impaler. Like,
yeah, and Impale is so much damage now too.
Well, if you use tenacity boots to boost it, the cool thing is with the glaive is you know where they're gonna land, like, and there's nothing they can do about it, short of ice block. I think you can ice block midair. I think that's the only thing you're allowed to do in the game.
I think they nerfed. That was a big thing before when people were bringing Clericals. They might have changed that. I'm not too sure.
Poor Ravidex getting 3-man bullied here, but Chicken and Ravid, we've seen again, like, that they're really good at kiting away from these divey comps. They're comfortable just playing to the limits. And Aramis, the whole time that they're doing this, Aramis is just free firing this crossbow. 3 of them stacked up on Ravidex. Aram just raining down crossbow. You see Geminex is low, Champ is low. You can't give that space to this guy. He's using the collateral explosive shots. Oh, he tries to get Geminex while he's invisible. Geminex jukes it nicely, but this bomb, Mortal Agony, Champ's gone again. Again.
This Roy Orbit team is the one who killed FS Petit like 4 times, right? With that glaive fling. Yeah. And now it's just happening to Champion instead. It's just such a different play style to be up against, right? When all of a sudden you're now in the enemy team's backline, like.
Aliv's died, Rebane died as well. This is a costly opening. 4 deaths for these boys, and you know the 8-3 has been parked. You know they're slowly going down to like 8-2, 7-3 now, and it does make a difference. Like it is less damage, more damage taken, less damage output. And we see how close the margins are in these fights, the amount of people living on the edge. But the key with these spears is Mortal Agony, right? Mortal Agony is the kill creator.
Yeah.
Especially with that crossbow. Like the bomb combo with Mortal Agony. Like Sunder and Mortal Agony probably puts you at 0 armor on pretty much anything except for a shield offhand. Oh, nice stun onto Bunny team, and of course playing that fire. He's playing the Royal Robe fire, so he has to run energy management. Aliv's in a horrible spot.
Noob Slayer just went and swapped off of Arcane to Polehammer while they were resetting.
He's just keeping
it.
He's keeping them honest, isn't he? Bunny team switched off the bow. So
he predicted
off
like
the
a little bit of a swap. Yeah, he predicted
you see it on the scoreboard, don't you? You see what he gears up on the scoreboard. Rebane goes
he went
down.
And sat at the tent. That's crazy.
No, he had both. He had both in his pack.
Oh.
But here's the dive. They're going to find 1. They're going to find 2. But Rebane I don't know what's going on here. There's 2 dead from both sides. Noob Slayer, Rorbit died over there. It's Noob Slayer and Aramis against 3 here, but they're going to hold a 2 cap. And these 2 can't fight until Alivs gets there. But now Rabane's coming around the back. Noob Slayer's in a very awkward position right now. The combo, Aram's just going to try and bomb the hell out of Rabane. He knows what's going on. Ravidex is here. Okay, the backup has arrived, but unfortunately, Noob Slayer, a little bit late to receive it. It's going to be a 4v4 as the mid cap gets underway. Rorbit not able to do anything. They're going to flick Rabane. But yeah, so clearly Noob Slayer had both bits of gear on him.
Yep, I actually just got DM'd by Carvin. Apparently, every set that Noob Slayer brings out includes both weapons, and he swaps when needed. Yeah, it's a really risky, lots of gear you're losing, but also very well done, right? Really good to have the option to swap when you need it.
You cannot play this tournament with concern for gear. The second you're worried about sets or gear or loot in this tournament, you're going to get run over by teams that don't care.
Chicken walking in the hood of tenacity. He didn't even walk out of it.
He's in a bit of trouble, but Champ, he needs to be careful here because he is getting chipped away. Chicken can heal his team through the wall, and Champ is never going to kill Chicken on his own here. So, bit of a weird one there. He was kind of lucky that their DPS were under so much pressure they couldn't continue. It's still only a 2 cap though. Now you'd really, if you're pressuring them like this, you'd really want to be sitting on a 3 cap. If they can get Rorbit, big anti-heal, but the shield doesn't care about no anti-heal. And the emergency shield just buys enough time for Chicken to find the save. And as soon as they go top for that cap, you know where the other team's going.
Yeah, they're going to rush bot. I would have probably sent Bunny Team actually to get that way sooner when he realized, like, we probably aren't going to get a kill here.
Yeah, once you've got them up against the 10, you need to have that 20, cap.
Though. No one started that bot cap.
They're going to hit the timing, but they can't press now. They're just too late to the fight.
So they will get that 20. And I mean, that's a lot of value for their comeback, right? They're down 40 points. They need all the points they can get.
Yeah.
Getting that 20 is really good for them.
And we're approaching the 10-minute mark. And obviously, the further the match goes, the longer the respawns start to take. So this is the point where, any sort of loss will immediately lose your rotation. And it gets to the point where it's almost 2 by the time you stabilize, especially if anyone gets killed on the way out. Mystic Rocks, Ravidex, the dive comes out. Chicken bossing with that purity as well. That's the difference, though. Cargeras outplayed Chicken, skirting around the edge of that purity. Chicken able to bop Geminex and Champ that time, though. Ravidex still not out the woods. He did weather the storm of those Mystic Rocks, and as long as Chicken's alive, he should be okay. Aramis not able to put out the damage we have seen in previous engages, and now they switch to Rorbit, Mortal Agony, Impaler, pumped full of fire by Bunny Team. Hot Molten Death, not going to be in time for the 20-tick rotation, but they'll take a fight victory, won't they?
62 to 86. I'm actually really liking Aloes on the bear paws against this team, right? Obviously, he's not using Realm Breaker because they're not against that triple front line this time.
Yeah.
So him on the bear paws with that dive, with Geminex swapping to the Daybreaker, is actually feeling really good for them when they get these setups going. But Champ not being able to tell them when he's getting the setups is a little bit scary.
Noob Slayer needs to just focus on playing more midline with this inertia ring and just making sure that if they can't get these dives off. In fact, they actually weather the dive perfectly. This is bad for Alivs. Look at that stun on play. That pole hammer stun lasts so long. It's insane. And in the meantime, I don't even know what's going on at the other end. Noob Slayer and Geminex are having their own thing. There's a bit of a rotate going on. I don't know what was going on there. But yeah, if he can shut down the advance with these inertia rings, the second they get caught up in that tar, then Aramis can just unload crossbow shots onto them. And here we see Geminex. This is it, isn't it? He's not getting where he wants to be. And the second he's under pressure, they actually take him where he wants to be and flick him. And this might work against them because they put him in the back line. The shields and reset immediately came down. And now Ravids is getting full dive. I think they got a bit greedy there. The Mortal Agony breakthrough is the kill. And we're looking like it could go to 1-1 here in this match.
Yeah, I don't know about flinging Geminex down there where he was going to execute the dive that was currently going down.
They thought they could get the kill, but what they didn't count on was the shield being immediately ready when he landed, the follow-up heals from Rabane, and basically Geminex got the full reset. Nice interrupt there from Noob Slayer. Looks like they're not giving up. I actually really like this. They sent someone to back cap, which forces the split, knowing that Ravids can then come straight into the fight. They're not going to get the back cap. but
they will keep it a 10
stops,
tick, right?
it stops the 3, and then they get a 4v4 with a fully geared up, full energy Ravidex here. Like, I don't mind it. Plus, Aramis is on the crossbow. He pretty much
Aramis
wins.
is coming through
Aramis
middle.
just wins those 1v1s at the top. Like look at this. And again,
He's
they can't.
Robofurying his
Champ
way
can't
mid.
communicate what they want to do here. That was ballsy from Aram, but the crossbow's going to win any 1v1 pretty much with the chip damage. However, his ballsy play does end up getting
I don't know
punished.
about
There could
that
be a
play,
trade here.
Lubeck.
I like it. I like it.
I don't know, man. He just used everything he
this.
has to walk through mid and then just dies for it.
No, he just used the purity. Like, honestly, if his team had surged, did you see how low the guys were up top though? If he'd have surged forward at the same time, they could have made something of that. Now they're in big trouble though. Damage coming out, nice inertia ring, and the bow. Like, they do a good job. Like, one thing you'll notice between teams in this tournament, right, and teams like at a lower level that we watch on Albion TV, is when these guys are peeling backwards, no matter how low they are on health, they will always return damage. They will never just go with their backs to the enemy and just take damage for free. They will always do as much as they can while peeling back. And that really helps them get trade kills. It helps like punish overcommitment, and it helps save caps and points. It's very, very important.
Really close too. Like,
I mean, honestly, I think the next fight wins this.
I don't know. 60
even
to
from
46?
60 into a 3 it gives you like 1 minute 50 to win. Like, and we know that they can slow up the dive now with the inertia ring. Ravidex will see it coming. Like, I think everything has to be perfect. Chicken's actually stuck in the tenacity, yeah. But as long as they can weather it till the Mystic Rocks, until the tenacity wears off, they should be okay. But Alivs hits the mother of all razor cuts. Chicken goes down, and that is game, set, and match here in game number 2. We're going into a third. Unbelievable, Techers. That was.
Do we know
Alivs.
when the other one is starting?
It might have already
Step Bro
started.
versus
We'll have
Ask Your
to-
Father.
should be starting in 2 minutes actually.
So we will swap over to that one then before game 3 of this one. I'm very happy the champion of Brazil and the lads from Shakey Feats were able to come back and win this one up. I really wanted to see that best of 3.
They keep the dream alive.
Well, hold on. Maybe it's not over yet. The lads are coming out of 10.
Nah,
They will have a minute, you know.
Unless they give him the cap. Aliv's not going to give him the cap, surely. A bit slow out the gate. Actually, they're not even going for it. Ravidex has switched the Shadow Caller off of the bow, which I actually like. Kind of punishes the dive, but it's very slow. Chicken, early pressure. Look at the double purity. They set up the goalposts with the double purity. They say you're not coming through. But as always with these time-sensitive situations, it forces you to play fast. It forces you to play suboptimally. And Rawbit is just not able to get in this. Aram's going to get puritied into the corner. Lands his blink, but Mortal Agony breakthrough will seal this match. And we're going to go to 1 versus 1 in terms of score. Shaky Feats level up the series. And we've got a best of 1 elimination for their next match. In the meantime, we're immediately going to jump over to Apollinator. Oh, Apollinator's match. They haven't gone in. They got 5 minutes to go.
Yeah, we'll be waiting 5 minutes between them this time.
I can have a drink of water then.
A little bit of a break for the lads. Yeah, we've been just going back and forth, match to match, man. It's a very content-filled day, though. I'm really enjoying it.
Yes, and it's good to have competitive tournaments. Like, you don't want to have stomps all the way through, and having matches go to 3 and have that first ever final we had that went to 5 was that was
still the best final you've had.
That was my favorite match I've ever casted in Albion Online, and I have casted some ridiculous stuff. I've casted 1 point last Shield City fights. You know, I've casted matches where a tank got setted and re-geared off the floor and came back to win in mid. Not a 10. He re-geared in mid, came out naked. Like, I've seen it all, and that final, which is coincidentally available on the Albion TV YouTube, so make sure you get a link to that in chat. One of the mods will probably link it in chat. Make sure you check that final out. If you want to see an absolutely amazing match, go and get there after the show. In this best of 3 is getting underway. Champ of Brazil, Alivs, Gemini, Rebane, Bunny Team, instant OC, and Bunny Team immediately showing the fire and OCing it is it a debate? Will he switch to the bow at the last second and just try and force the others like to bring out the arcane? Like, or like it could be cheeky. Noob Slayer showing the arcane actually.
I wish he comes out with it. Yeah, I'd rather he come out with that. Champion coming out with the staff though. I'd much rather he go with the arcane.
He's gonna go
champion.
after us. Raw-bit on the halberd then. So he's going to run the halberd this time. Breakthrough onto 2. Does get Ravid. Great from Geminex there. Aramis is on the curse as well. So
yeah, the shadow caller.
They're changing things up. I love the shadow caller.
Nuke's on the hammer. Yeah, the Great Hammer Shadow Caller is going to be a really good combo.
Wow,
right?
he showed Arcane and brought the Great Hammer out.
Yeah.
And yeah, this could be nasty. Like, if he can hit the cloth effect, a lot of people always default to the plate, but the cloth effect is insane damage. Like, if somebody is inside the cloth effect of the Shadow Caller and you get the Mortal Agony, they're in trouble. Not to mention when they get out of the hammer, they'll be stuck in the inertia ring as well. So this one is a 1-1 opening, 4-1 split from both teams. There's Rawbit in a lot of trouble. Good stun coming out. Champ was in a horrible spot, but they couldn't finish him, and Geminex was waiting for the retreating Rawbit. Finds the kill comfortably. Razor cut onto Ravid. Chicken trying to find the saves. They get the emergency shield. There's the die, but it's not going to be enough. Ravid's is going to go down. No trade onto Champ as there's no DPS left in the petrol tank for these boys. It's going to be first blood going to Champa Brazil and his boys. This is already looking good for Shaky Feats, but washed up. Do not count these guys out. This Hammer Shadow Caller combo could be devastating. If they get the right clump and they land it, my goodness.
And then fling the guy back who they want to kill, right? That's going to be a nutty combo.
Well, everyone will be dead anyway. Everyone in that clump will be pretty much dead anyway. But Bunny Team, he's on the Merc Hood. He's not having any nonsense. He's running energy pots. He's running energy cape. He doesn't want energy problems, but he's got a Merc Hood in the back. He knows he's the most vulnerable on the team to the stun as well. That makes sense. And Rawbit deleted up the choke. Can't even get into the fight this time. 3-cap bully play now. Shaky feet. Looks like the feet are no longer shaking, Tazik. Like these
they just
guys
had a long warm up, you know. Look at Champ doling out commands to the boys, where he's saying, "Watch the back."
How do you get to the grand finals tournament by typing in say chat like that? Oh wow. I don't know what Noob said was doing there, but he just caught the angle on Champ. They look for the turnaround, but the thing is if Rebane is under 0 pressure and there's no anti-heal, like no one's going to die. I'm going to go out on a limb and say no one's going to die if Rebane is allowed to free cast. And they've been bullied.
You said it before too, right? You said, you know, this team washed up should have the momentum to come in and make the changes and win. They changed 2 very big things, and they're still getting. Honestly, they're getting hit on more than they were before, right? This doesn't seem to be working as well as the other stuff did.
Well, because Chicken's now having to contend with like this aggressive play from Aram, while Ravids is getting dove by Geminex. And the problem with Geminex is he's fully capable of soloing a Clothy, right? So when he goes to work, your healer is split between keeping the fight going and keeping your guys in the momentum war and saving the guy that Geminex is probably soloing in the backline. Like this, you said how much damage the Impale does. Impale after the Tenacity Shoes buff is even worse. But Champ gets left behind. He gets stunned. And there's that combo. Shadow Caller full send onto him right now. But Alivs wants the trade. Massive damage from that axe. Full fury. Alivs is now in no man's land, though. I don't know what's going on. This is an absolute wild fight. Alivs on the rotation. Duking it out with Rawbit. Rawbit's going to bleed. Rebane misses the orb, but Rawbit bleeds out. Chicken nowhere to be seen. They grab 1 cap. But, oh, that should have been done and dusted. But they just didn't expect Alivs. Full fury stacks to just Kobe in.
He solo turned that fight around.
Oh, he ruined them. He absolutely ruined them.
What a play. Everyone else was dipping out, and then he said, yo, I'm going in. You know,
and then
instead
of running back and getting traded, he ran through them the other side and just caused chaos. It was absolute top draw playmaking from Alivs there. They're back on the 3-cap, and all of a sudden, they're 3.5 minutes away from day 2.
Rawbit swapping over to the Scholar Sandals.
Sandals pike. Yeah, so it's basically so he can sprint in through any sort of stun or whatever. and just slam Bunny Team when he's got stacks. Like, just slam him with the pike. But the problem is they keep second guessing their comp instead of playing what's been good for them. Like, sure, there's been adjustments on the washed up team. There's been adjustments on the Shaky Feet team. But Shaky Feet are winning. Like, they need to come up with something to counter them, not just to stay alive.
They have 2 minutes left to do it before, like, it's pretty much over, right? What they spotted here is not working that well for them. They really should have went back to what they were originally doing, and it would have been closer.
This is a nice combo. Like, that's the combos they need to land. That's what their play is. But the problem is they don't have a Geminex, right? They don't have a Geminex chilling at the back murdering people. Rawbit is taking so much pressure. Like, he can't run at Bunny Team because of the firewall. Bunny Team just pumps him over and over again. Champ is fully anti-heal, by the way. Champ really going to struggle to survive this. Is he going to survive this? No. Wow. He's going the other way, though. He wants those. He needs those heals. Otherwise, Ravid's going to get him. He gets another heal. Ravid's blinks for it as well. And he's still in heal range. They do find Alivs. Champ's coming back in. Rawbit's in trouble. Bunny Team's going to drop. Bunny Team is going to drop. Champ might drop here. They're not going to get the dive onto Chicken. They might find the trade onto Rawbit. And suddenly this match maybe blows wide open. The armor pierce is out. The stacks are out. Rebane needs to save his man, but he's got Mystic Rocks. He can't get healed because of the Mystic Rocks. Finally cancels it, but they've now lost their healer. And the problem is they're dying one by one in a non-match winning situation. Like, they're just
those
bleeding there. Yeah.
It's so much time wasted, right? That was really weird. Why did Ravid chase through middle? I feel like if he stayed up top, they could have avoided a lot of those deaths. Could have been a lot better for them instead of chasing mid. I think he might have tried to, like, stop a cap or chase maybe like Alivs down or something. I'm not too sure.
I don't know, but yeah, it was really good from Rebane. He was healing his team up the top and throwing the generous heals down to Champion on the low ground. Yeah. But it was just too much. And again, when your tank can't talk about what's going on, you don't want messy situations. I hate bringing this up over and over again, but you've got to think about it. There's the double slam. Geminex, though, the Judy was down. Rebane had it under control. Geminex immediately replies with the breakthrough. Champ is taking a hell of a beating, even through this Mystic Rocks right now, and this is really working. Putting the pressure on Champ is really freeing up this backline to do what it needs to do. Rawbit's getting more space, and then when they try and turn, they're running into this inertia ring. It's a 3-man stun on the choke. Where's the Shadow Caller? That was the Shadow Caller of Justice. Honestly, that would have been fight right there. Geminex might die anyway. The bow getting the space. Oh my god, Rebane is so good. These heals are unbelievable from Rebane. The anti-heal now comes out from Champ, and Rawbit's just going to die, and there's nothing Chicken can do about it. Brilliant, brilliant play. Shaky Feet are going to eat another 20 tick, but they're going to find Ravids. And that's going to be game. There's Aram.
Yep.
This is a
might
3.
as well be game. They're going to stagger Chicken's death as well, right? That knock. Oh, he's going to barely make it back. I was going to say that knockback might have just canceled the Hallow Fall, but...
Okay, this is going to be weird. Like, no, Noobstair's got no health. I was like, if Noobstair can interrupt caps for 30 seconds? Question mark. But he's going to die regardless.
He's just running back and forth from middle to down
Chicken's back in the fight, but if Chicken dies, they're just done. They're actually not going to lose this cap, I don't think. They're going to lose mid. They're not going to lose this. And look, it's Frostwalk. He's on Frostwalk now. Frostwalk stun inertia ring is some dirty stuff with the curse.
Druid sandals, right? Like, we haven't seen that in a long time.
Not since the Blazing comp, the one and only comp that I ever invented.
True, yeah.
My claim to fame in Albion was coming up with the most toxic comp. Yeah, they got it. Just off timer, though, unfortunately. And they might find Alivs here. Oh, my goodness. Tenacity goes down. The counterplay. This team is looking so strong. This is looking like a different team that we saw in the first match. Like, they're riding the pressure. They're making the counters. Druid Sandals, such an interesting choice, but this Hail Mary, the rooting smash onto the healer. Champ might need to drop his rocks very soon. The poison goes out. Rebane with another clutch save. They're getting capped in the mid. Aramis is going for
behind Bunny the whole time, yeah.
Okay,
Bunny
Bunny
gonna have to blink away. He's gonna lose that 1v1 every time, and Geminex is gonna break through right on top of him. This is a 4v5 in middle now.
But he's gonna come back, and he's actually in a nasty position to drop the Halifal from behind. like onto the clothies. If they can get the stun onto Bunny Team after that cleanse. Oh, Bunny Team! He's on the crossbow. He's not on the Shadow Caller anymore. He came in from behind and he doesn't lose 1v1s when he's playing that one-hand crossbow. Rorbit goes in with the Pike Smash onto Bunny Team. And now the top is being driven back. Ravids, it's still a 2-cap though. He stuns 4! He stuns 4, but Rorbit's still gonna die.
The Guardian Helmet through the wall.
The shield comes out, but there goes Ravid, there goes Rorbit, and there goes their tournament. Shaky Feet's coming through in dramatic style. We're gonna say goodbye to Washed Up, unfortunately. But what a finish.
That was a great way to end that best of 3, right? They finally figured out how they could win, but it was just too late. They've already bled away 100 points at that point.
The Great Hammer was good, and I don't even know. That was such a wild match.
That was
Check out Bunny Team's damage over here. Bunny
out
Team.
healed, out damaged. Yeah, that fire, like the fire behind the firewall, just pumping
fire,
all
right?
fight.
Because he started off cursed, so he did a lot of damage.
he played fire the whole time. Aramis was on curse.
Right. Aramis.
He played fire the whole match, but that royal
fire.
Like this is the thing. He puts down the firewall, puts down the royal rune, pumps up his damage, and just unleashes. And people resetting for these helms, for these Halifals, just spread contagious fire into each other. I much prefer the pump fire to the artillery fire all day long. Pump fire is the one. Artillery fire is dead to me.